What's going on, Paisanos? V here, come at you guys with another Market Watch today. We have a lot to talk about in this Market Watch, from Phantom Rage, specifically Virtual World, to Maximum Gold, and then we're going to go right into the ban list, because the ban list is happening in 1 month. In 1 month, the game's going to change permanently. And that's one thing I like about every ban list. Every ban list, every set, right now in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very unique, because you're not going to be able to play this meta forever. It's gonna be gone. We're gonna have this moment to play this game right now as it is, and then next month when we get a ban list, that's it. Things will change and they're never coming back. Paisanos, new channel, please make sure to subscribe button, like button, and comment down below. Comment question of the day: if you could change one card on the ban list, what would it be and why? And it's a very important question, because if I give you the ability to change one card from the ban list, it better be a really good card that's going to make the game for the better. And of course, if you're Konami, you're going to want something that you're going to be able to sell to the public. Once again, you've seen Maximum Gold when they made Harvest Featherduster, which when it first debuted, I believe day one when it came out here on TCG Player, it was roughly around $10. Another little fun fact for you guys that are relatively new to the channel, you also want to hit that notification bell, because whenever there is a ban list, I do a live ban list reaction on this channel. We go over the ban list, we talk about the implications in the market, what to buy, what to sell, where to go. There's a lot of things happening, and when I do my live streams on the ban list, it's probably the craziest it gets here on YouTube for this channel, and everyone's just asking 1,001 questions. If you have any questions, once again, like I said, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, like this video, share this video, and answer that comment question down below. Looking at Phantom Rage, man, I just gotta say, Paisanos, like, this set is going down. I think with everybody realizing the fact that every core set has Starlight Rares, nobody's taking chances anymore. There's no more, I don't know if I should buy this core set with Starlight Rares in it. No. If you're a big store, or you have the availability to buy a lot of sealed boxes of Phantom Rage, you know, especially in a core set, that if you get a Starlight Rare, well, that about pays for almost a full case that you have. Not to mention the fact that you go open source, sell a lot of this product out as fast as possible, and if you get it early, you can make a huge profit, because the pre-sale prices on the majority of these cards are just astronomically insane. Well, looking at it right now, Asus is barely holding on to $50. Alpha the Master of Beast is barely holding on to $41. The Phantom Knights of Torrent Scales is a $23 to $24 card. What? These are insanely good cards, and in any other meta, they'd be broken. They would break the decks that they are in. Why now? Why not, big as they are? Well, to be honest with you, they're not in tier 1 decks. And if you have cards that do not belong in the tier 1 deck, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players more than likely are not going to want to pay a lot of money for it. That's why we're seeing the prices go down for a lot of these cards. Tri-Brigade cards are just tanking, even though they are amazing. We also have Virtual World, like Virtual World Mahime Lulu, a card which was originally like a couple of bucks, became $6, became $10. That's when I got my playset. Looking at it right now, Lulu is always there $20 a copy. There was a recent tournament this past weekend, and Virtual Worlds took first place. The player that won went 12-0, and to be honest with you, it caught everybody off guard. Now, here's my little hot take on the meta-analysis for Virtual World. Not a lot of players know about Virtual World. There were probably a good amount of games that he played that not a lot of players knew what to do, when to hand trap, when not to hand trap, and that was a huge advantage. It gave that player a huge advantage. Looking at Virtual World right now, I will say as time goes on, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are going to adjust to this via the meta, and we're going to find ways to combat this deck. If not, the deck becomes tier 1. That's kind of how it works with a lot of decks in the game. Now, will the deck become tier 1? Probably not. If you want my honest opinion, I don't think Virtual World can become tier 1. It has a surprise factor recently, but can it maintain being good? And a lot of decks, for the most part, normally don't maintain being good. Can Virtual World become tier 1? Sure, absolutely. I don't think it's going to. And if it does, that's awesome. But we're going to be honest with ourselves, probably not going to happen. It's probably going to happen for now until, once again, like I said, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players realize, oh, wait a minute, X and Y card stops this deck in its tracks. Free win deck. Gotcha. Now, looking at the rest of the Phantom Rage, I mean, it's pretty bad. And I'm still gonna say, guys, a Mutant Core is dirt cheap still. It's a great core to buy. Konami always follows up on these sets as far as releasing new cards for deck cores like Virtual World, like Mutants, maybe even Tri-Brigade. So don't be surprised if we see more support down the line for these deck cores. And Mutants is so cheap right now. It just blows me away how many Yu-Gi-Oh players don't know what this deck does, and more importantly, don't have this, because by the time they go in and grab this, it's going to be high in value. Now, can it happen in Virtual World Tri-Brigade? Absolutely. I think it's going to happen in Mutants. And if Virtual World Tri-Brigade, Virtual World and Mutants get any support, this deck does become tier 1. I mean, think about it. Any support that's decent pushes either one of these deck cores over the edge. So the question is, do you have your deck cores? I'll tell you right now, I got my Virtual World deck core not too long ago, about a week ago. So it's relatively new. And I got Mutants almost immediately, the minute the prices settle down. And right now, the prices for Mutants are super settled. Could also be dual avatar. I don't think so. That's pretty hard to do, but it'd be cool if they did, actually. I would like to see that. Maximum Gold. Well, I talked about this not long ago when I said, hey, Paisanos, listen, Maximum Gold's biggest value is going to be to collector's cards. And it is. Blue Eyes Dragon dropped around $25, superseding Infinite Permanence, which was $21. Dark Magician isn't too far behind as the third highest expensive card in the set, being roughly around $13. Red Eyes Black Dragon, $7. Well, why are these so much money? Well, easy. Because they're hard to get. Now, we don't know if this set supposedly doesn't have any short prints, you know, and just so happens to be that the most wanted cards in the set are the most expensive. I mean, really expensive, like Ash Blossom Joy Spring, Nibiru, Infinite Permanence, the Golden Lord, you know, but it's not short printed, just, you know, sporadically sprinkled in. I will say, looking at Maximum Gold, I do think that as time goes on, there is value in this set. I'm going to say it straight up to you guys. Now, what is that value? I think if anyone kind of pretends to know the value from the long-term value, it's a really big gamble and risk. I'm still sticking to my straps when I say it's going to be Blue Eyes Dragon, Dark Magician, and Red Eyes Black Dragon, because it comes in a unique rarity. Gaining another unique rarity to the set does add a lot of value to these cards. So I think these cards will hold good value. I think these cards might go down before they go up, but they're going to inevitably go up in value. For, once again, Blue Eyes Dragon, Dark Magician, and Red Eyes. That is going to happen, in my opinion. I will not be surprised when that happens. I don't think nobody's going to be. Looking at Infinite Permanence being $21, this card, once again, it's on a weird pendulum. It can go back down in value with Konami making more and more reprints. That can happen, and more than likely will inevitably happen to this card because it's insanely good. Elder the Golden Lord is going down. We knew this was going to happen. The card was $18. It's barely holding at like $13. So once again, we kind of knew that was going to happen. And looking at Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, well, I don't know what's going to happen to this card. I mean, this card has so many reprint things, and the card's still like, I don't care, I'm $10. Common, $10. Go, $10. Random, any rarity, $10. So we don't know what's going to happen on the Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. Hopefully this will lower the value. It's currently roughly around 7 to 8, but we don't know if it's going to stay down to 7 to 8. So yeah, that's what I think about, Maximum Gold. There's a lot of value that is lost in this set. This is why when I made my Mark Watch video, I kept breaking down why I think this set isn't a lot of money. I've argued with people. People say, well, V, the rarity looks really nice. Because niceness does not equate value. And that's something that's really important for a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players to get through the head immediately. Because there's a lot of cards that look really nice. I said it before. I said I like the Noble Knights, the Noble Knights Silver Rarity, but even though it looks nice, it doesn't equal value. Now, something even when I first got those cards, I instantly realized this is going to be a ton of money. It's just something I just liked, and that's fine. But don't confuse those two. And I think a lot of people do because they get really excited about a set that's not out yet. Now that it's out, we can all see value. It's not there. Pilot's Eyes was recently used in Virtual Worlds, by the way, this past weekend, and the value is slowly going up. Well, the value is slowly going up for not Collector's Rare. You see, when Collector's Rares first debuted, everyone said, V, Collector's Rares, what's going on? And I said, Collector's Rares tells you what it is. It's a rarity for collectors that's higher. So those cards that are specifically collectible cards on a TV show specifically, they're going to hold crazy good value. And they are. They really are. We'll talk about that later on in this video. But looking at Potter's Eyes, Collector's Rares that Toon Chaos, instantly knew, as I think a lot of us also did, that Ultimate Rare Potter's Eyes is just a better card for value. Now, when Potter's Eyes Collector's Rares first came out, it was the higher price card. I believe it was roughly around $130 to $140. Slowly started going down, and once again, we all knew this was going to happen. We talked about it in the video. Well, Paisanos, Potter's Eyes, Toon Chaos, Collector's Rares, $61 market price. Went up a little bit. Once again, It went up a little bit. It saw some play this past weekend. It might start seeing more meta play. It's a great card. I'm not saying it's not. So to see the card being roughly around $70, sure, it went up a little bit. Once again, 61 to 70, great. I mean, you got a lightly played first edition version being roughly around $89. Now it's the first edition version. These are supposed to be astronomically higher. The next listings for 95, not bad. But Potter's Collector's Rares is not what a competitive play would ideally use. The highest rarity of Potter's Eyes is not Collector's Rares, it's Ultimate Rares at an OTS Tournament Pack 11. And the further we go, the further Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are going to be wanting the harder to get version, which is going to be the Ultimate Rare Potter's Eyes, once again, at an OTS Tournament Pack 11. These are infinitely hard to get, where you can go and buy Toon Chaos, you can't go and buy Potter's Eyes, well, besides TCG player. You just can't go out to your Walmart and go, yeah, can I get the Potter's Eyes Ultimate Rare packs? First of all, they don't know Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they work on Walmart. Second of all, it's Walmart. Third of all, nobody knows what you're talking about or cares what you're talking about, and you're more than likely not going to be able to find this card there. You will better have a chance of finding, I don't know, Maximum Go before release at Walmart than you would Potter's Eyes Ultimate Rares at Walmart. I don't know why I'm digging up Walmart so much today, but it's near me. Anyway, Ultimate Potter's Eyes coming at OTS on the back 11 with an $87 market price. Well, the lightly played versions are roughly around $90. And after that one's gone, look at this. $94. After that one listing is gone, the next playset is almost near $100. Potter's Eyes Ultimate Rare and Potter's Eyes Collector's Rares, well, we're seeing something happen right now, and it's slowly happening, but Potter's Eyes Ultimate Rare is going to be eclipsing the value of the Collector's Rares. Once again, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players care more about the bling bling, harder to get. Ultimate Rares is the harder to get. It's definitely bling bling. The card, by the way it looks, Ultimate Rare, is saying, hey, bling bling. And when you look at Potter's Eyes Collector's Rares, they're not bad. They're really not. I don't hate Collector's Rares, but I know the difference between Collector's Rares and Ultimate Rares, and a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players do as well. From a long distance, I can still see that the card's Ultimate Rare. From a long distance, this could be Ultra Rare. Concedo Ptolemy M7 also started going crazy high in value because it was used in the deck this past weekend. $20 market price for the dual toner versions of the cards, roughly around $30. As well as Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger, Ashpack 7, $25. The card's also roughly around $60. I mean, this is the kind of card you use, you overlay, you do your swing, and then you go into Zeus, and you're like, max rarity all day long. It's really nice, and it looks really beautiful. And that's why this card's high in value. This card more than likely sink back down in value, to be honest with you. Unless Zeus stays meta relevant. That changes a lot of things. This changes for a lot of things. And then we have Emergency Teleport. Once again, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are running and grabbing their copy of Emerging Teleport. And at this point, unless you have Ultimate Rares, I don't think it matters which rare you eat tellies. Even the Premium Goat Infinite garbage is like $16. That's insane. Well, of course, you get the $18 High-Speed Riders. You get the original print starting at $20, probably for Unlimited. You got the Secret Rares being $24. And if you want an Ultimate Rare Emergency Teleport at a Dual Genesis with a $45 market price, well, no big deal. Unlimited's are roughly around $47. These are only one-offs, by the way. Just want to throw it out there as well, which is pretty insane if you think about it, for this to be this high in value. And then you want a first edition version of the card. Well, the first edition version is roughly around $120. That little stamp means a lot more money. Listen, if you're having a problem with Virtual World, I don't think a lot of you players realize this or not, but Forbidden Drop is a really good card. Virtual World turn 1 goes into VFT. That's it. Okay, their best play is VFT. So you draw for your turn, you forbid a droplet, and then whatever your deck does, make it do, because then you just win the game. I mean, depending on the deck you play, obviously. You play a mid-range deck, you gotta start controlling the board, and you do have an advantage, but they can't break your board. They really can. If you play a combo deck, and you play Forbidden Droplet, you easily win. And this is something that kind of confused me. I mean, don't get me wrong, Dragon League or Bustle-Lock, really good against Virtual World. But Dragon League or Bustle-Lock also running Forbidden Droplet, really good against not only Virtual World, but also some Infernoble Knights, when they go Gear Freed, you just Forbidden Droplet to Gear Freed. You don't care about getting rid of a monster. You're playing Dragon League. You're going to win next turn. Who cares? And this is something, once again, I talked about this like last week. I said, guys, you need to get your Forbidden Droplets. I'm going to continue saying it. The card's holding an $84 market price, but looking at here on TCG Player, it's roughly around $80. It's not going to be this low for this long. This will be the card you're going to be wanting to grab at Duelist Tennis, a Rise of Duelists, and everyone's kind of forgot about that. This card's broken. I mean, yeah, if you have infinite permanents, cool, I guess, but VFD normally waits for you to dedicate on board, whereas Forbidden Drop doesn't care what you do. You do anything. You summon a monster, your opponent's like, okay, VFD, detach, declare, blah, 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 and you're like, alright, Forbidden Droplet, guess who's gonna get the fat L? Like, that's how you beat Virtual World. And yet somehow, for some way, everyone kind of forgot about that. The minute you put this card through, I think your opponent might have to face a trap, I think, so they get a pop. But if you're playing combo, you don't care. You go, okay, you get one pop, and then I just blow you out the rest of the game. Like, this is something I'm really confused about. Now, I'm specifically saying this about Dragon Link, but obviously you're playing other decks in the game. This is also a phenomenal card for you. You're playing mid-range decks, put this card back in. If you're playing any other combo deck, Worse is not in your deck anymore. Like, I don't understand. I get it. You want to run hand traps. You want to run Gamma, which is one of the best hand traps. Gamma is such a good hand trap. Think about it this way, Paisanos. Gamma is such a good hand trap. People are willing to play a brick in order to play that hand trap. I was just literally thinking about this. I was shaving in the bathroom a little while ago. I was like, wow, how crazy is that? I mean, we got Ashwell from Joy Springs. We got Infinite Permits, Ghost Ogre, all these amazing hand traps. And you get players like, I'll play Gamma. I will take a -1 brick in my deck to play this broken hand trap. That's how good Gamma is. Gamma is a hand trap that, depending on your game state, says no to other hand traps. Once again, obviously not Infinite Permits, and definitely not Forbidden Droplet. Two cards which I think we're going to see a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players start playing more. More importantly, I think it would be Forbidden Droplet would be the card we'll start seeing Yu-Gi-Oh players play a lot more of, because this card is, once again, broken. Everyone kind of forgot about the card, everyone's sleeping on this card, but after this weekend, I don't think a lot of players are, especially after a lot of people watch this video. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are going to be sleeping on this card. If you have this card and you're playing something like Dragon Links, there you go. You beat Infernobles when they try to break your board after you Dragon Link lock them. And of course, you beat Dinos because that card's really good against UFD. I'm not sure, can you use it against UFD actually after they Miscellaneousaurus? Comment down below and let me know. I'm not sure if that works, but if that works, broken. It's just such a good card. Anyway, Paisanos, I think this is a great card, and I think a lot of you players are sleeping on this. Let's get to the second part of this video. It's all going to be in one market watch, but it also has to do with the market, and that is the Yu-Gi-Oh ban list. We are less than 1 month away from the Yu-Gi-Oh ban list becoming a reality. From all these cards changing, again, drastically reshaping the entire way we look at the game. And I said in the beginning of the video, I'll say it again because I think it's so important. Every format in Yu-Gi-Oh, besides the general FTK formats, and when there's like 2 tier 1 decks formats, I hate those formats. I was still playing, but like, ugh, so boring. They get stale fast. You find yourself playing like a tier 2 deck just to see if, you know, the game still has some juice in it. Like, those formats really get bad, really get old, really fast. So I'm talking like Dragon Rules. I'm talking like Zodiac formats. The formats that you're in, you're like, I want to play something else. It's a tier 2. There's like tier 1 and tier 2, and there's no like in between. It's that. It's very blunt and very obvious. And once again, when there's FTK format. Other than that, majority of formats in the game Yu-Gi-Oh, even this format right now, is very unique because it's only here for now. We have less than 30 days, about roughly around 30 days to play this format before it's gone forever. Before years from now, Yu-Gi-Oh players will be talking about this format because it's going to be gone. And it's very, very special. I think a lot of people kind of forget about that, and it's really easy to hate this format. There's times where I get really bored of the format and I want to spice it up, but I still enjoy the format. I think it's very important. Anyway, looking at the ban list, this is going to drastically change the way we play the game. I think there's a lot of cards, and I always have my 3 cards, so now it's down to 2 because Hubby's Featherstick came off the ban list, but there's 2 cards that I think are going to be coming off the ban list. Now, I don't think it's going to be at the same time, but I think inevitably these cards will be coming off the ban list. I don't know the numbers, and we could talk about that in this video, but it's gonna happen. In fact, I have some proof as far as what I think is going to be a good catalyst for reprinting a card that's currently on the ban list to come off the ban list to go crazy. Like I said, guys, this is gonna be a crazy month we're gonna be entering in. Number 1 card that should be banned should be Union Carrier. Every time I hear people go, oh, they should hit a Dragon Buster, this blah 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 blah, this card, because that card makes a Buster Lock, my mind is just blown. You obviously have no idea what you're talking about. This card is degenerate. So let's talk about Union Carrier's little resume, okay? Because Dragon Buster's resume is Dragon Buster being used with Union Carrier, okay? I'm just throwing it out there for everybody. And in the comments down below, you'll get some guy that's gonna be babbling. No, V, Union Carrier's not the problem. It's Dragon Buster. I get it. You play a deck that uses Union Carrier that doesn't use Dragon Buster. Congratulations. Shut your mouth. Like it just tilts me so hard when people just want to ignore things because they're super biased. I'm just throwing it out there. This card's broken. Now, we know Dragon Buster Lock, obviously, right off the gate. We know that already. We also know the fact that this card, Union Carrier, also helps contribute to the Infinite Gate. We do know that. That's the thing it does. We also know that Union Carrier was part of FTK deck. Had Union Carrier not been around, there would be no FTK, there would be no Infinite Gate, and there would be no extra deck lock because of 1 card. Shut up, everybody that says that we need to get rid of Dragon Buster. The problem is not Dragon Buster. The problem is Union Carrier. This is the same kind of argument when a long time ago I would make my videos when I would go, guys, Norden is not the problem. Instant Fusion's the problem. Like, there's so many cards Instant Fusion breaks. Norden isn't the issue. And they're like, oh no, V, it's Norden, blah, blah, blah. No. Norden's a joke. Instant Fusion is the real problem. You have to hit the real problem. It also goes back to when we look at the 5-wall FTK, and this is Konami now. Konami was like on the other end of this, where Konami was hitting everything except 5-wall, and we're just looking at Konami go, 5-wall is the problem. Whatever you hit doesn't matter. It's gonna get broken again. In fact, the cat and mouse game between the competitive players and Konami is, yeah, don't hit 5-wall and see how we break this card. Again, in your face. And then we did. Multiple times. And so Konami was like, you know what? I think Decode Talk is the character card. Let's hit 5-wall, boys. What? Listen, I think Union Carrier is a broken card, and I think it is insane for players to say that Dragon Buster is a problem because they're forgetting about the Infinite Gate. They're forgetting about the fact that Union Carrier is part of FTK, and they're forgetting the fact that this card, not being hit by the banners, still existing, would create more broken, degenerate decks. That's the problem, nothing else is. Give me 3 Dragon Busters when Union Carrier is gone. What are you really gonna do? Give me 3 some Morgs, because we had them, by the way. What are you gonna do without Union Carrier? Everybody want to say the Pisu? We know it happened. The minute stopped seeing play because people started playing a ton of hand traps, well, 3 of these do nothing. This card's been at 3 since it came out of Raging Battle. Nobody cares. This card on debut was like, yo, I got an idea. Infinite Gates this pretty good? And Konami's like, that is pretty good. I got it, boys. We'll hit not this card. We'll hit not some more. We'll hit not Union Carrier. I forgot what the hit was. Comment down below what it was. It was, oh, Lunar Lights. They hit Lunar Lights. They're like, we'll hit Lunar Light Tiger. That's the problem. Yeah, not Union Carrier. Pink. No, not that. No. What? Like, this is what I'm saying. Please stop it. Like, that's the issue. And it's like, I don't know, everyone's kind of, every time I have a conversation with anybody, they go, yeah, I get it, V, Dragon Buster's the issue. And I'm just like, no, it's not even kind of the issue. Make this card at 3, nobody cares. Like, literally, nobody cares. This is the issue. Hopefully, I, like, nailed it into a lot of heads. Somehow, someone in the comments is going to go, V, I think you're wrong. Nobody's playing Infinite Gates or FTK. The fact that people are ignoring the fact that these still exist is the issue as well. And if the meta changes, these can easily come back. Easily. Tri-Brigade has an Infinite Gate right now with Union Carrier because of Union Carrier. Pretty scary. All we need to do is be in a slower mid-range meta, and Union Carrier is broken. Gee, what meta are we going into? If I had to guess, slower mid-range meta. So mid-range decks that can play Infinite Gate would be king in that meta. Like any mid-range meta we enter in, I just need to play a mid-range deck that could do Infinite Gate. Oh, wait a minute, we have that already? That's accessible? It's not here right now because another mid-range deck, another combo deck smokes that deck. Buster Lock Dragon Link smokes mid-range Tri-Brigade. Alright, we'll just hit Dragon Link. Problem solved, right? Oh, wait a minute, we have Infinite Gate mid-range decks? I guess the mid-range decks gotta take a fat L. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? I'm just, like I said, I don't know. I could talk about this all day long because I literally argue with tons of people and their arguments go like over their head and I'm like, there's an issue here. It's Instant Fusion kind of issue. Anyway, looking at Vanity's Emptiness, I think this card will eventually come off the bans to 1. And a lot of you players might be confused by this, but I think it's inevitable that this is coming off the bans. The only question is, what do you do with that information? Because the highest rarity version of Vanity's Emptiness is Secret Rare. We see a price listing being roughly around $16. The card's roughly around $17 to $18. Maybe even $19 after a couple of sales. Listen, I think this is a version you're going to want to focus on. I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players that are really excited about having the copies of Secret Rares are excited for a reason. They know they have the highest rarity. The only way to beat the Secret Rares is to have a collected rares version. Also, Max C. I've been talking about this card for a very long while, and I know a lot of people are probably bored of me hearing me talk about this card, but this is going to be a huge deal. I think with both Vanity's Emptiness and Max C, when it comes up to bans, let's say it doesn't do anything. I think it's going to, but let's say none of these cards do anything. The hype alone is the reason why you buy into this. You buy into it early because of hype, and then you sell when the hype's at its peak. You make a ton of money, and you laugh at everybody, and then you walk away. Now, what do we have that has an opportunity to reprint Vanity's Emptiness and Max C? Because if you look over here at Maximum Gold, Harvey's Featherduster was in Maximum Gold. Maximum Gold was going to come out a little bit after the Banlist. So Konami kind of knew where they were going with this. They knew that Harvey's Featherduster was going to come off the Banlist. So they needed to find a way to have a reprint version, Harvey's Featherduster, because by the way, they work in these sets months in advance to come out. So you understand what I'm saying? They had to make it like we're gonna have a Banlist, and then we'll have maximum gold, and then we'll now top Fed Duster to maximum gold. So everyone that dealt with the Banlist and now needs Humphrey Fed Duster will have to buy maximum gold in order to get Humphrey Fed Duster. It's a very smart thing. They've been doing it forever. That's how it works. Looking at these two cards, we need a reprint set, or else there's a good chance these cards are not going to be coming out. I mean, Vanity Zenth's last rarity was in Legendary Collection 5Ds. Max C's last printing was a common in a structure deck, and I don't think Konami's going to be there doing let them eat cake. Hey, if you want to get Max C, enjoy buying a $6 common in a structure deck machine reactor that came out, what, 3 years ago? I don't think that's going to happen. So in order for these cards to have a chance of coming out on the ban list, they're going to need a reprint set. So what I'm going to tell you is about to blow your mind. Why not just Genesis Impact? It's a 60 card small set size. It comes out around 12/8 to 12/9. The ban list comes out around December 15th. This would be a great time for Konami to go. And once again, if you want my honest opinion, if anyone's been asking me for a while, I think Max C will be coming off in the February/March ban list. I think that would be a smarter time to do it with the release of also Crossout Designator. I think that'd be really smart. Doing it early would be crazy, but I can see that as well. There's no wrong time to drop the card because you're gonna make a ton of money. As far as you were Konami, once again, they need to make money. Stores make money, and then they stabilize the game. It's messed up, but it's what it is. Paisanos. The reason I think Genesis Impact would be such a great card for either Maxi Advantage to come out into, because this set has collector's rares. Collector's rares. You see where I'm going with that? Like, first of all, Vanity Zenth's will now have 2 printings, not just 1 printing. Whereas Humphrey Fed Duster had 1 printing in gold. Yikes. Vanity Zenth's will actually have 2 printings, if you had to guess. Once again, number 1 being the collector's rare printing, and the other printing probably, if I had to guess, being ultra rare. Now, what's going to be higher? Collector's rare or secret rare? Obviously, collector's rares because it's hard to get. Even though the secret rare will hold a good amount of change, so if you hold secret rares, don't dump these yet. If you're holding commons and super rares, still hold those because the hype will still sell those cards for you. But with the release of Genesis Impact, we might see that happen. You know, Konami has not, I'm not sure, I'm like almost positive Konami still hasn't fully thrown the set out there for everybody. That's number 1. Number 2, Max C getting collector's rares would kill the value in almost every version of Max C, except Ultimate Rare. Once again, is it hard for you to get? I want times 3. The Ultimate Rare Max C will still hold crazy high value. Secret Max C will more than likely, especially first edition, will hold crazy value. Any other version, which there are 4 versions of Max C, would ultimately tank in value. Once again, it's still very important for you to hold your Max Cs, no matter what it is, unless you're going to have to be forced to buy Genesis Impact, if that was to be the case. Now, once again, I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does happen, this is how it will go down. The Ultra Rare Max C that's currently roughly around $17 would tank in value. And it will tank in value and then quickly go back up in value the minute everyone realizes, oh, wait a minute, you need 3 Max Cs, Ultra Rares are not easy to get. And have fun doing that. The gold rare, nobody cares about gold rare. If you have gold and Max Cs, obviously you don't care about value. No big deal, but it is what it is. You don't care about like a reprint if you hold gold rares. We'll just say that. Super Max Cs will not be $7. That card would be like $1 or $2. And the common would be $1 all day long. By releasing the card as having 2 rarities in Genesis Impact, it would drastically change the way we would see the market on whatever card gets reprinted in that set. So I think Genesis Impact is relatively important. I think looking at collector's rares, even though once again I'm not a big fan of collector's rares, I'd rather have an Ultimate Rare or a Ghost Rare. Collector's rares still hold good value because, well, any card's a collectible card or a high rarity than its original version. In the case of Gamma, would hold good money. Once again, Gamma being hard to get, only has an ultra rare. Well, the collector's rare is obviously the higher value. Cancer Emperor Dragon, Sarge Dragon, BLS, well, they have other printings with other crazy value, but this would be where you would see the crazy high value. So that's like the huge distinction between these. By the way, Pot of Extravagance continues to tank down the market. Despite it being the highest rarity version, I mean, Unlimited are roughly around 69s. Which first edition version is going for? It's $164. The card has this insane value over the place. It's not balanced, and I would not recommend buying into Pot of Extravagance yet because it's not. If it doesn't balance in value, you don't know if it's good. The high price will go down or the down price will go up. You have zero idea. It's really hard to tell, especially the crazier the value gets between each other. I still think Chaos Space, Collector's Rares is like my favorite card out of the set because that card's insane. But yeah, going back into it, it'd probably be Justice Impact. Whatever's in Justice Impact would probably tell us what's going to happen as far as reprints. If there's no reprints in Justice Impact, can Maxi still come off the balance? Can Van Zanten still come off the balance? Absolutely. Should they? I personally don't like that because it'd be hard for everybody to get. It'd be really expensive for everybody to get. I would rather one Vandy's come off the ban list because, you know, there's a lot listing. But if Maxi came off the ban list at 3 and there's no reprints in this set, had fun finding yours. Now, once again, I do think that's not going to happen. I think it'll happen in February or / March ban list. But if it does happen, seriously, the meta, the market becomes Mad Max for value. Just dudes ripping onto each other to try to get even a premium gold version of Maxi. Because a premium gold would go crazy high in value. One of every few times actually does. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Please make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Hit the like button, comment down below. It's your boy V, and you paisanos have a great day.